You want to see how it works?
Let's see, yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay,
You want to
let's
switch
make,
the screen?
What are we going to make here? Defender?
All right. Well, we'll just do a little thing. So I'm going to create, so this is my workshop, right? Before we were in this community area where we saw people's stuff. Now, obviously, my workshop happens to be called Ready. You can see some social mechanics there. I've gotten plays and likes.
How many people have played? It's like your Vine loops or your YouTube subscribers.
We have that built in, yeah. Built a pretty cool API here. So I'm going to hit Create New. And this is the classic blank canvas, right?
What now?
What now, exactly.
Yeah.
So in software, everything begins with sort of putting an object into your scene. In this case, we'll open a picker window here, and you can pick a canned object. You wanted the panda, I think, from before.
Let's go big panda, yeah. Baby
let's take
panda.
the panda. We'll put him in.
I see you have a library of objects that kids might be into.
Right. I can scale this panda. I can also zoom out a little from my scene. Let's go ahead and hit play, and nothing happens.
Do I see a little grid there?
You did, yeah. So the grid
there,
is 1 meter square. That helps you line things up, right? So when I hit play, nothing happens at all. Why should it? We haven't given it any computational. So let's do a little coding class for a minute. Let's learn about coding. Let's select this panda, and we can inspect it like I did before. Let's go to physics and turn physics on, for example. So all that's happening now is this object is inheriting a property called I live in the physical world now because you turn this on. So it's inheritance is the idea. And if I hit play, Jason, what do you think might happen now? Before nothing happened. Now I turned on physics and gravity was turned on.
Yes.
What's your hunch that might happen?
Well, I don't know if that we've defined where the ground is, so
Correct.
It wouldn't fall. It would just stay where it is, or I don't know. Maybe it would start floating around. Who knows?
Let's find out. Let's hit play. Yeah. And in fact, it does fall forever because gravity is on and it doesn't have a ground. So wonderful point.
Yeah.
But it is falling as we speak continuously because this thing is as big as, so I'm going to give it something to fall onto. Since pandas live in the snow, maybe I'll give it this little platform. And then what's your hunch now? Right. And you see the way it sort of wobbles there? I mean, it's like serious.
The physics
are super sweet. We still have done no programming at all, right? So let me go ahead and give this guy a little background just so.
Yeah, make the scene look nicer.
Make it look a little nicer.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe this scene here. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So again, we can hit play, and there he is. So let's maybe move him over. And now he'll fall, right? So let's give him
You killed Cartman.
a behavior to stay in the scene, right? So we can add a behavior. We have a library of behaviors. These are like the DNA that give objects intelligence, right? So let's give it, these are all things it can start to acquire. A control pad, a drag behavior. Let's give it a stay in frame behavior where it'll stay in the frame. And so when it gets to the end of the frame, do you want it to wrap around, stop, reflect, or collide?
So like in asteroids, the asteroid should wrap around and the asteroid should come from the other side, or should it just go off the screen like Defender?
Let's let it wrap around for now. So the expected behavior is, in fact, that it wraps around, and at some point it might accelerate.
Also accelerating.
Of course, and now it got stuck on the platform, which is fine. Okay, so let's do a little coding. We've done no coding at all. We got this far doing zero coding. So the street light here on the right side is the coding area. Call it the event manager. We broke coding down to when something happens, do something. Perfect. And it's all contextual. So we can say maybe, let's you and I think of something, like maybe when the panda hits the platform, let's have the platform make another panda. We'll clone another panda.
Okay.
So we can do that sentence when what? The panda, right? I mean, it's contextual, so it's hard to make a syntactical mistake here. What about the panda? Well, what's the closest thing to feeling or touching that you see there?
Feeling or touching. Does that say sensing?
Sensing, exactly. Sensing, yeah. So when the panda is sensing, that sounds right. Sensing what? Remember, we want this to clone when he hits the platform. So maybe he's sensing that is it collision maybe? Or
yeah, that would be.
That sounds right to me. So sensing collided with, or touching, but that's a different issue.
That's a different
Let's say collided, and there's only one other object in our scene, right? So when this happens, let's have the ice make more pandas.
Okay.
Okay, so the ice do what? Well, there's a chip there that looks like
clone.
Clone, right. Okay, you can either remove a clone or make a clone, so there's only one thing to clone, itself or the panda. So we've made a real sentence here. When the panda feels like it's hit the ice, make the ice clone a panda. Nice. This is coding. This is the basis of so much coding. So let's go ahead and hit play. And sure enough, you've cloned a bunch of pandas. You'll notice that some of them are getting stuck, which is fine, because that's maybe one of the properties you can unhook.
Yeah.
And some of the pandas and there we go, they got unstuck. So pretty quickly, you're going to get a pretty nutty condition here.
Right, because they're going to start hitting the thing in such velocity that there's going to be more pandas than we know what to do with. Now they're actually hitting into each other, too.
Yes. So, we got a little something going on here. And then at that point,
This is the equivalent of us doing, 10 print, David rocks, 20 go to 10, and then seeing it fill the screen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think the difference here being that you can go incredibly far with this, right? So you wind up seeing, people doing things like this, like building a model of the solar system.
Genius.
Where it's like, dude, this is how the solar system works. Isn't this beautiful? And like, you see the Earth with a little moon, and you can tap on any one of the words and zoom into that planet. So we just zoomed into Mercury. So
and
now,
this would be probably somewhat accurate. They probably did some coding, so we could fork this if we wanted to, and then discover how that person built it.
Correct. So you want to do that. Again, you do that.
Hit remix, boom.
And now we're in their project, and we can begin to inspect, how did they make this thing work?
Okay, everybody, you know I love video. You know that I produce 104 episodes of This Week in Startups a year. Plus, we produce tons of videos from our launch incubator, but you don't get to see most of those videos. Most of those videos we share just with a small group of people on Wistia, and we get to see through the audit trail, through the analytics, which one of our incubator companies are watching the videos that we're sharing with them, and have they watched that video once or twice, and when they watch it. This is one of the best uses of Wistia I can think of, which is privately sharing as well as publicly sharing videos with your team and with your partners. It's something you can't do on other services, and tons of amazing people use Wistia, W-I-S-T-I-A, including MailChimp, Moz, HubSpot, Zendesk, Herman Miller, Sam Adams, and of course us, This Week in Startups. They've grown tremendously since they joined the This Week in Startups family a couple years ago. They had 50,000 people when actually we started this partnership using their product. Now they have 220,000 customers, and that is because they do great things like capturing email addresses at the start of videos. Hey, you want to watch this video? Put your email address in if you want to. And it's super easy to use. They have tons of support. You can talk to people on the phone or on email if you have questions. And they build new tools and features specifically for marketers. Other services like YouTube and Vimeo, they don't do that. They're for people who are making viral videos. Wistia is for people who are using video for business, and it works so well. And they do all these great guides on their blog where you can figure out how to make videos and how to use microphones and how to do editing. It's a really great content marketing thing they do. Go ahead and check that out as well. Go to wistia.com/twist. Go to wistia.com/twist, and you will get all the tools you need, all the video analytics and the basic integrations that they're famous for with no credit card required. That's how you tell if a company is confident in their ability to deliver, is if they demand a credit card, or if they just tell you go to wistia.com/twist and start playing with it. Go ahead and start playing with it. It's amazing. It works. It's gorgeous. And it's got tons and tons of features. Create your Wistia account for free right now, wistia.com/twist. And go ahead and thank them on Twitter. They're at Wistia, and follow them too. Okay, let's get back to this amazing program.